Oh, we're back, and I was tweeting. I apologize. But that's what we do here. We like to exchange ideas at 412-575-2600. Bob Pompiani, Andrew Filipponi with you. Let's get right to it, Andrew, because there are a lot of people who want to talk about this.
Let's do this.
Let's begin. And Dave in Finleyville. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Taking my call. Always like to hear what you have to say. My question for tonight is, don't you think Sullivan should have a goaltender like to go to down the stretch by now instead of switching off with Jarry and Murray and not knowing who's going to be your number one goaltender going into the playoffs?
You know, Dave, I thought he made that choice when he went to Murray 3 straight games. And all of a sudden, Murray was adequate yesterday. Not good. Today, Jarry. Now, I wonder about the rotation. Does it continue?
I don't mind him going back to Jarry games in back-to-back days, and it's an all-star from earlier in the year. But, however, Bob, I'm starting to think Tristan Jarry was, and this happens a lot in hockey. Goalies get hot. Okay, and that's not always an indicator that they're going to be anything great or that they're going to have longevity or some kind of outstanding career. We see it happen all the time. Remember a guy named the Hamburglar? Andrew Hammond? I mean, these guys, Johan Hedberg. And
Johan Hedberg came out of nowhere. Look at last year to see Jordan Binnington.
Right,
now, he could be totally bad in 2 years. I don't know.
And Tristan Jarry was really good for about 20 starts. But I think we've seen him in the last, what would you say, Bob, half dozen games?
But I have to wonder if the rotation hurt him.
I bet it did.
Because he was playing at a really high level, and I think any goaltender will tell you the more play they get, the better they'll be.
But I got more confidence in Matt Murray finding it again than I do Tristan Jarry at this point.
Well, I also think you got to also get the performance in front of those guys.
Absolutely.
And when you give them those kind of chances, I'll look at those last 3 goals in the third period, and I'll say none of them was Jarry's fault.
What's Chris Letang's excuse?
Well, that's my point. When you make sloppy decisions and you let people hang to dry, that's what's going to happen. They're going to be hanging out there, and that's what Jarry was. All right, let's go to Mike in Ross Township. Mike, welcome to the Sports Call. How are you?
Hey, Bob Pony, how you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, everybody's talking about the goaltenders, but I don't think it's the goaltenders. The defensemen, they're not keeping anybody away from the net, and Schultz should not be on the power play. He cannot hit the net for he don't even get close to hitting him.
Well, Mike, that's interesting you brought that up. Andrew, what's it say about Chris Letang that Schultz was playing ahead of him?
No, I think they made Letang the sacrificial lamb today. It's like he was the guy that was in, the corner with the dunce. Did they do dunce hats on when you were a kid? Did they do the dunce cap in the corner?
Yeah, back in the day, sure.
You never did that, though.
No,
that was never
not.
you in trouble. It looked like they were punishing Chris Letang. Of all the players to get kind of punished for Saturday's game, I thought it was interesting that he was not a top power play unit. And for all people, for Justin Schultz to get a promotion, to quote Hines Ward, what he done? What has he done to deserve that? Seriously, he went 20 games without a point.
Yeah,
year, Bob.
They certainly have issues. And again, I think this is all part of a slump that started, and I think it's extended now. And I'm not at all saying that the Penguins are going to miss the playoffs because I still think they're going to be in it. What I do think is they're making their job of getting to a Stanley Cup or an Eastern Conference final much more difficult. If they fall into the 3 slot, for example, you got to play probably Philly or Washington first round on the road. And then if you win, you play the next one of those 2 teams. If they fall out of that 3rd spot, and I'm not ruling that out either the way they're playing, they've got to change things up. All of a sudden now as a Wild, the last thing you want is to take on Boston in the first round if you fall that far down, which I don't think they will. But that has to be considered.
The total irony of this whole dilemma and situation, Bob, is that when they had everybody injured, they played better. When they had every excuse in the world to go through slumps, to lose 8 out of 10. And now that everybody's healthy, with the exception of Jake Gensel, this is what we get? I don't get it.
It's one of the most alarming things when you follow the Penguins is when they're all healthy, it seems like they're trying too hard to be a circus act.
Harlem Globetrotters.
They're doing all that kind of stuff, fancy stuff. And yesterday, even Evgeny Malkin talked about it. He said, we can't do it. Mike Sullivan said the same thing today afterwards. When you want him to be more upset, what he said was, well, just the little things, those little things become big things. We've heard that.
But when Malkin talks, he's not Brandon Tanev or Jack Johnson.
Right.
He's a 3-time Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, and it resonates. It should resonate. But the performance today was not very good all the way around. And again, they're having other issues too. Guys aren't scoring. How many extended slumps have we seen recently in a goal scoring from McCann to Tanev, even Marleau? That was his first goal in 14 games dating back to his days in San Jose. We got lots of tweets. Mario says it's time to bench Letang, and I don't think it's him. I'm tired of his lazy play. Darla says, I'm watching a fight. A hockey game just broke out. There was a pretty good fight, by the way, in the Chicago game. We don't see that. A lot of people don't like fighting. Just out of,
Would you have liked to see it late in this game to try to send a
I
message?
would have wanted to see something. Yes,
Me too.
Just
How about
a
some
little
life?
Even though I think
Pulse.
that's overrated, I still think it's okay. Let's go to Fred in North Huntington. Fred, thank you for joining us here on the Nightly Sports Call. What's up?
Hi, Fred.
Hi, Bob. How you guys doing?
Good.
I just wanted to say, I mean, we have defensive problems right now with the Penguins. They can't score. Now it seems like the goaltending's starting to falter. This team's going in the wrong direction at the wrong time. They actually almost peaked about halfway through the season. And I'm beginning to believe, Bob, none of you guys want to say it, they're just not good enough right now.
Well, I would caution you to say that right now. The way they're playing, absolutely. But there's a month left before they even start the postseason. Last year at this time, they got hot and they went 9-3-3 down the stretch, and it didn't result in much because they started to make too many mistakes against a team I think they thought they could beat without after actually working for it. That's one of the things this team tends to do, I think, Andrew, is when they think they're better than you, they don't necessarily work as hard as they need to work to win those games.
But I thought they learned a lesson last April.
I thought so too.
And that this kind of game was out of their system. At the very least, you get pounded by Washington and you take out all that anger on Carolina and a goaltender, Bob, that I don't think is tall enough to sit at this bar. I don't think you could see him. He's like Mini Mike. I don't think he could get over this thing. And he went out there and he didn't really have much trouble. I don't think the Penguins really pressured him that much, even with all the power plays.
See, that's the thing with me. If this team, 5-on-5, they generated very little opportunity. So if that's going to happen, when you get 7 power play advantages, you have to score 3 goals with that talent. I'm sorry, that's what it has to be. It's feast or famine right now with that thing, and if it goes bad, it can cost you a playoff series. It's time right now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tri-State Office Furniture Tweet of the Day.
Nice.
And this is something you came up with. Sidney Crosby-Zigo, who's on Twitter quite a bit, he says the Penguins might be the only team that gets worse when they're healthy.
And an emoji.
They weren't that way when they were in 16 and 17, and they were out racing everyone, out hitting. They were really good. They were healthy then too. But what's happened lately is they think, again, I think it's a subconscious thing. They get everyone healthy. We're going to be fine. Marino and Dumoulin are back. Forget about it. We're going to be great. Well, not so much.
The only
And it
guy
may
that I
take
look
time.
at from this weekend and I can say, you know what, it's not your fault, is Hornquist. I thought he was the Penguins' best player. And if more guys followed his actions and his lead, then they wouldn't be in this predicament.
We're going to take a break. We have more calls on the way at 412-575-2600. Also, join us tonight for the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. That's on after the late news, KDKA TV. Andrew will be there. I'll be there, along with Ron Cook and Mark Caboli. So join us after the late news. Back with more of your calls and feedback right after this, live on CW.
Portions of this program sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook.